What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Also with JesseW, and today we're going to go over how I lost the fear of trading. Check it out. What's going on, guys? All right, we're going to jump into this video here because it's an important topic. I've actually tweeted about it in little short blurbs in the past, and it's definitely something that transfers over to many parts of life, right? It's fear. It's losing the fear. So I don't know. I want to say a while back. I don't even want to elongate this video thinking about when it was exactly. But a while back, one day I just came to the realization of I know how to trade. Like, I know how to do technical analysis, right? And I can trade my technical analysis. So the only thing that's holding me back at the time was emotions, like many of us. It sounds cliche and you hear it a bunch of times and you don't believe it because it sounds too simple, but it's really not, because controlling emotions is not a simple task. You would think it's not just being able to control emotions or getting over FOMO. That's not what's holding me back as a trader, right? That's what we normally think, but it really is. Once you learn technical analysis, if you're a technical analysis trader, whatever it is that however you trade, once you learn that and you have it down packed, the only thing between you and profit, at least continuous profit, is your emotions, your feelings, getting that under control. And what emotions are there? Many. There's fear of clicking the buy button, fear of clicking the sell button, FOMO, doubt, within yourself, whether you can do it or not. There's greed. There's so many different emotions that go along with this. Also, it depends, what money you're using. Are you using money to trade that you need in life, right? Like that you need to function and pay bills, mortgage, rent. If you're using that kind of money, then it tends to, especially if you're not confident, it tends to turn into scared money. Scared money makes no money. Okay, so these are all things that we need to realize that that's an issue for us and work on it. Okay, so a while back, I was, and when I say a while back, I mean a while back, like a year or 2 years ago, something like that. I think I want to say 2 years ago, I noticed, that I was having a little bit of fear in clicking the buy button. So definitely not a year ago. So about 2-3 years ago, I noticed that. 3 years ago, I noticed it, or 4 years ago, I noticed the fear, and then it took me about a year of work, okay, to get over that fear, okay. So once I realized that I was afraid to click the buy button, I was like, why am I afraid to click the buy button? Well, the reason I was afraid to click the buy button was because if I were to get into the position, I would have risk on the table, and I would have too much risk. So I needed to mitigate that. And the way I mitigated that was by dropping my share size. Okay. Now, that's very simple. All you got to do is just drop your share size. If you're used to trading, if you're used to trading with like big size, for you, everybody's share size is like proportionate to their risk tolerance. Okay. So like, for instance, I typically risk today, as of now, because a year from now, if you're watching this video 1 year, 2 year, 3 years from now, my risk tolerance might be different than it is today. I might be risking $500, $1,000 per risk, per trade, depending on the trade. Whereas right now, I typically like to risk between, on the low side, 150, on the high side, $300. So usually within that realm, kind of like $200 is what I risk per trade. So that's my risk tolerance. Your risk tolerance right now, while you're watching this, might be $1,000. And you might even be a newer trader than I am, right? You might have less experience than me, but you got more money than me. So that's risk tolerance is all relevant, in other words, to the individual trader, him or herself. Now, before we move any further, I need you to do me a quick favor. Smash the like button for me and subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, okay? And also comment in the comment section below. Let me know what's the next video you want me to do. Now, what did I do that changed my trading? Because if you've been watching me, all right, if you've been watching me for the last 2 years or so, or last year and a half, I don't even know how long I've been on YouTube at this point. You've seen me go, like, you've seen me scale. You've seen me scale over time. You've seen me go from, like $30, $40, $50 winners, okay, with like $10, $15, $20 losers to, on average, $150, $200, $300, $400, $500 winners with, 80, 100, 150, 200 dollar losers. You know, like for me, I don't like to give back more than one good day's profit. So one good day's profit to me right now is about $300 and change. I don't like to give back more than that in one day. If I give back more than that in one day, kind of bothers me. So I don't like to give back more than that in one day. Now, you've seen me go from those tiny little winners to much bigger, I want to say much bigger winners, like in the sense that I've gone from, $30, $50 winners to, $200, $500 winners. Now, you've also seen me put up $1,500 days. You've seen me put up almost $7,000 days. Okay. So within that realm, you've seen me put up some big numbers comparable to my average wins. Okay. So now I noticed that I was afraid of clicking the buy button. I dropped my share size. By dropping my share size, I minimized my risk. Thus, it made me more confident in clicking the buy button because I was no longer risking $100 or $150. I was risking $50, $80, $70. I was like, okay, if I lose $70, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. So I started doing that. Boom, little by little, I started, getting more confident. Why? Because I was making good trades. I was allowing the chart to work itself out within my pattern. So I knew where my stop was. Prior to that, I might have been in the same trade at the same levels, but I would have been in a little bit bigger size and I was uncomfortable. So I wouldn't let the chart pattern work itself out. Like for example here, look at this chart right here. I could have gotten in here at 275, stopped down here at 250, the low of day. Why would I get in here? Well, this 270 is a daily level and we've broken up over VWAP on an increase in volume. So now I want to see this area hold. This pattern, look how well this pattern is working itself out. And watch when we get, if this video goes long enough, watch when we get this 90 MA up here. If volume is consistent, this 90 MA will cross up over VWAP. Volume, if the volume is there, this will push this to $4. It'll push it to about that $4 area. So between $3.50 to $4, we should get a push there. That's if we don't get that push to $3.30 right now. Okay, so prior to that, I might have not traded this properly because I would have been in too big of size in here and I wouldn't have wanted to give it all the way back down here. So what would happen? Right here in this candle right here, I would have stopped out on VWAP. I would have stopped out. I would have tried to take some profit off here and then stopped out here. Honestly, that's not a terrible trade. It would have been like a fake out breakdown. But regardless, the fact is that if you're oversized, you're not feeling comfortable in the position. Or if you held on to your entire position here, you're not feeling comfortable because now you've gone from being up nicely on the trade to being back at your entry. Okay? Now, we're going to continue to let this play out here, see if this 90 MA crosses over VWAP, and we're going to see if this sends the stock higher, at least $3.30 to $3.50 minimum, $3.50 to $4 on the higher end. So I noticed that was happening to me. So I dropped my share size, and over time, I started to increase my share size progressively, little by little. Why? Because my confidence was increasing. Why? Because I was allowing myself to trade the plans that I've learned to trade. So now, my share size is increasing. My winners are increasing in size as well. Obviously, my losers are increasing in size as well. But I'm noticing something. I'm confident. Not only am I confident, I am no longer afraid of clicking the buy button. Why am I not afraid of clicking the buy button? Why am I not afraid of jumping into these setups? Because I know that if I'm wrong, it's irrelevant. I can lose $500 right here. That's over what I'm comfortable with. And it's not going to make me hate the world. It's not going to make me second doubt myself, second guess myself as a trader. Because, want to know why? I know I can make it back. Once you come to the realization that you can make it back, now you got to be able to make it back. You can't just be like, it's just money, I can make it back. You have to have come from a place where you've noticed that when you trade properly, you follow your rules, you make money. Therefore, when you lose money, you can make it back. Sound fair enough? I know as a trader that if I were to take this trade here and it failed, like right now, if I was in this and I took a partial profit off here and I'm still in this with like 50% to 75% of my position size and I get stopped out now, right now my stop wouldn't be down here. Right now my stop would be the low of this consolidation, more than likely. If I wanted to be very conservative or if I wanted to be more aggressive, I'd give it to this 90 MA. Okay, I could stop out here in the low of this consolidation and get back in if the 90 MA holds, regardless of the fact. If I get stopped out here and I lose some money, it's irrelevant. It's just part of the game. It's part of this business. I know that I can make it back on my next trade because I know the type of trader I am. I know that I am consistent. I know the setups I trade, right? Look, we're still holding that 280 that I'm talking about. I know that while we're never going to be 99% right, okay? And if anybody out there is feeding you that BS, and I'm not talking about being 90% right on a week or on a month. I'm talking about over a long course of time. If anybody's feeding you that, my opinion, run away. The best traders are right 70 some odd percent of the time. I don't even think they reach 80. And we're talking about professionals, okay? Intermediate traders, probably like myself, we're right 60 something percent of the time. I don't even know when I can consider myself a professional. It's going to take years from now, right? Not so much because I don't understand the technical analysis, because I have that down packed. I can show anybody technical analysis. It's about where you reach the maturity as a trader and the experience of a trader, where within a trade you can notice things like we're getting weak, like right now, see? And bailing before the fail. You've seen me and my channel bail before the fail tons of time because I've gathered that experience. The emotional control, okay, and all that good stuff. So it's not about the technical analysis in itself. And then you have, good beginner traders that might be at 50%. And then you have traders who are under 50%. You could be under 50% of the time correct. Okay, so you could be a trader that trades and you're only right 35%, 40% of the time. And you can actually be profitable. See, it failed like we said. Now we're going to test that 90 MA. And you can be profitable, okay? But imagine on your mind the stress of being wrong, 65%, 65% of the time, 70% of the time, you're wrong. If your winners are bigger, then you're great. You're going to be profitable, but it doesn't feel good to be wrong that much. So I know that I can make the money back. That is how I've been able to enter like a new realm within my trading and increase my risk tolerance, okay? And not be fazed by red days, not be fazed by 2 or 3 red days in a row either, okay? Because I know I can make it back. I know if I sit here and I follow my rules and I wait for A plus setups, right? At worst, B setups, I know that I can make it back. I don't like to trade, and it's something that I've had to work on, and I'm still working on. I don't like to trade C setups. C setups are right, 50% of the time, 55% of the time, 45% of the time, right? Within that realm. That's garbage. That's gambling. I don't want to trade that nonsense. And I'm improving on that, right? I'm improving on that. Sometimes we don't notice it. Everybody makes mistakes. Even the most seasoned professional traders fall victim to FOMO because it's not something that we can shake and be robots at, but we minimize it. We do it less and less and less over time. And that's where we need to get. You see, I lost my fear of entering trades by minimizing my size and then increasing it slowly as I got confident. And then by losing that fear, I realized, hey, I can always make money. So I'm no longer afraid of being wrong in a trade, because if I'm wrong, just move on to the next one and I make it back. You've seen me here. I've had my first trade of the day, been red, $200. My follow-up trade, boom, $500, $600 trade. And that's how you lose that fear. Now, that's something that you have to look within. Look at your sheets, look at whatever you input your trades in, and see where you're at as a trader. And then from there, you need to adjust accordingly and realize this is a marathon and not a sprint. Okay, this is a long-term play. All right. Something else, I have my long-term investments. That have nothing to do with my day trading. Nothing. I have my long-term investments in the stock market, in real estate, and that also helps me get peace of mind. But you have to be good with losing and be confident that you can make it back, because history shows you can, in order for you to get over that. Now, you got to work on that little by little. Any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you enjoy this type of content so that you know when I upload my next video. And I'll catch you on the next one.